brother wearing?
Jeggings. Ask him
Is he
about
wearing
it.
bibs underneath or just straight up?
That's a question you can ask him.
Might have to get some of those bad boys for this weekend.
Yeah?
I'll rock those in a crop top.
Okay.
What is up, guys? I hope y'all enjoyed that little dialogue between me and Freddie during the neutral lap. We were talking about my brother's jeggings that he's wearing during this race, and I will give you guys the pleasure of viewing that sight here shortly. But before I do, I gotta explain where I'm at. So this footage was taken 2 weeks ago at the Herbalife Criterium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And this is a part of a greater series called the Triad Criterium series, which is a Tuesday night crit series. It alternates between the Dixie Classic and Herbalife every single week. And personally, I do like Herbalife a bit more because the pavement's a little bit grippier. I tend to not flat as much here, and there's a little bit added technicality with this 180 corner that you'll see here in a bit. So as promised, here's some ultra slow-mo HD footage of my brother's jeggings. And you guys may be wondering why he's wearing long pants when everybody else is they don't have anything on their legs. So he's a firm believer anything under 70 degrees, there's got to be something on the legs. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's too high, especially for racing. I get too hot, but he's a firm believer in that. And the jeggings part of the story, I think it was in college when he was getting frustrated with Pearl Zumi leggings, and he was just spending way too much money for them to just get ripped up inevitably after crashing or taking spills or whatnot. So he was like, screw Pearl Zumi. Not knocking Pearl Zumi, they make great products, but he went to Walmart and bought 3 pairs of jeggings and thought that was good. So anyways, Will Harden here on the right in the blue kit, he's on Velocious. He took off and I never see him again, and I guess that's just a testament to how strong this guy is. He breaks off with a guy at the front, so there's 2 riders up the front now, and this guy from Velocious as well takes off, and we eventually catch him. I think the next lap, here he is, number 12, and I just love the aggressiveness that Velocious Sport, the team, had throughout the day, because this guy, the same guy, goes off the front, and I don't see him again, so he joins that group of 2 and makes it a group of 3, and I was quite impressed with that. So my brother and I now have to control the pace, because we don't want to burn ourselves out by trying to bridge up to them in a matter of a few laps. We want to make this a gradual and smooth process of moving up to them. They had about a 20-second gap, and I think it stayed there throughout most of the race. They had a 25-second gap. I think it went up to 30 at one point, and it actually got brought down to 15 when we were getting serious and organized. But you can see how the Velocious guys in the teal and orange kits, they're kind of just, I guess, integrated into this front group, trying to not slow us down. But here we go. I almost run into Freddie, and I think I did shred a piece of leather off his shoes. So I'm sorry, Freddie, if you're watching this. My apologies for not paying attention. But anyways, back to Velocious doing a great job of teamwork. Here's David. He's not trying to get separation, but he's trying to cover attacks. And really, Velocious had the numbers on the day. I think they had 5 or 6 teammates. So they really were able to stick in this front group, make sure nobody went off the front, and they did a good job of not getting in the way, but just making sure we weren't accelerating too hard to catch the two teammates up the front. So props to them. Good job, guys. You guys raced a good race, and y'all were fair about it as well. Another reason I love racing at Herbalife is this beautiful sunset. I think every single time I've raced here at the night, I think like the 7 p.m. crit, there's always been a beautiful sunset, which makes for a great backdrop for an under the lights criterium. So my brother here is putting some big boy watts out, and he's kind of distancing me a little bit, so he looks back, he makes sure I'm still within reach, and we're 36 minutes, 37 minutes into this race, so we have about 10 more minutes. We've realized this, and I'm tired. This guy does a great job of taking a pull when I don't really feel like it. He knows I'm fatiguing, I'm tired. I didn't have a heart rate monitor on for this race because it died, but it would be at 185 or so right now. And you see my brother almost took me out right there. He didn't let me know he was pulling off, but I was also kind of half-wheeling him. It would have been really embarrassing to see us two take each other out. I'm glad that didn't happen. That would have sucked. And here we go. There's two Velocious guys with about 5 minutes left in this bike race, and they make this bold move. And I don't really think they were trying to get away per se. I think they were trying to make me and my brother's lives difficult because they knew my brother was going to try to set me up for 4th place, and they didn't want me to have an easy sprint. They wanted to make sure we were working hard to grab those wheels. So eventually we catch on to Wesley's wheel here. He's a former junior national champion, so he knows how to race a bike. He knows how to put in some digs, and now we just got one guy up the front, John Hamlin, which is, I think he's an ex-pro, but we eventually grab him. He's on the right, and effectively they did a great job of making me and Luke tired before this finish. So I grab this guy's wheel that tries to put in a big dig. I just, with a few laps to go, it's very critical to make sure nobody's sneaking away, trying to pull off anything. Joe here from Lee's McRae is also putting in a big dig. I don't know if he was trying to get away or trying to contribute to the effort of getting those guys up the front. But the 3 leaders are probably 20 seconds ahead right now, and with 2 laps to go, me and my brother realize it's very unlikely that we can single-handedly bring those guys back. So we kind of sit in here. We try to lower the heart rate, make sure we're going into the last lap fresh and ready to sprint. My brother's looking to the left, constantly making sure nobody's trying to pull any last lap flyers. And I guess this is kind of a hint because there is going to be this last lap, I guess like quarter lap flyer. John Hamlin takes off and brings a guy with him. And you'll see Wesley, he comes on the left as well. And I don't know if he realized this during the race, but he helped my brother immensely. Because by doing this, my brother doesn't have to make up a 5 bike length gap, but he sticks on Wesley's wheel. And we're back with that group. So now we're playing cat and mouse. We're trying to figure out who wants to go into this last stretch first, and John Hamlin takes charge, and I tell my brother the last thing I want to do is go 1-2 into this final stretch because my experience, I've always gotten swallowed up. So this guy does a good job of kind of taking me off my brother's wheel. Say I'm off. He understands this. He recognizes that I'm off. And the last thing my brother needs to do here is lead this guy out because this guy's not on his team. He's not on my team. So he swings wide, effectively making this guy lead me out. And I'm in his slipstream. I do a decent sprint to come around him and snag 4th place. So we were unfortunately not able to grab those 3 guys at the front, but there's some race stats as always. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.